Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please excuse the way I look, y'all. I just finished my 2 mile run after work, so forget the way I look, but just listen. Grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's talk because this topic has been on my mind since the beginning of this year. And I want to start off by saying that, well, I'm gonna make this very clear, y'all. I do not hate healthcare. I'm genuinely grateful for everything that healthcare has given me. I became a certified clinical medical assistant at the age of 21, and I'll be 26 this month, August 27th. I had a brain fart like I always do. But over the last 4 years, I've learned so much about patient care, professional communication, working under NPs and physicians, working under pressure, and I've honestly learned so much about myself in the process. And I've just reached a point to where I feel like I have to be honest with myself. I just do not see myself being in healthcare for the next 5 to 10 years, y'all. I just don't see it. And I'm being honest. I'm keep looking at my face like this way because I have on sunscreen when I went running and I look so crazy. But y'all know I like to keep stuff real and raw. I hope I don't look too crazy. But just listen, like don't even watch, just listen. But back to the topic, yeah, like I just feel like at this point I'm 4 years in and I feel like it's okay for me to acknowledge that I can wash my hands with hair with well, wash my hands with healthcare without having to say that it was a mistake. Because as I said before, healthcare has taught me a lot. I've grown. I've learned a lot about patient care, professional communication, and like I said, working under pressure. I've learned so much. But y'all, I just feel like I got what I needed from this career path, if that makes sense. It gave me experience, it gave me confidence, it gave me a strong professional foundation. I mean, I've done it for 4 years. That may not be a long time to some people, but for me it is. And just it taught me how to interact with a variety of patients, geriatrics, um, pediatrics, just different walks of life, and it helped me grow into the woman I am today. Alhamdulillah. Those 4 years, I don't feel like they were wasted. They got me to this exact point. And I always say I'm not starting over, but I'm starting from experience rather. And I don't have the same passion for healthcare as I did when I first entered the field. And it's okay to be honest with yourself. I feel like a lot of people a lot of people force themselves to move up. Oh, I'm tired of doing this, so let me pivot up. And not saying that when you leave the career field that you're currently in and go elsewhere, you're not necessarily pivoting. But for me, leaving healthcare or the MA world doesn't mean I'm going to be a nurse because no, I don't want to be a nurse. You know, and I just feel like that's something that a lot of people are afraid to admit. We grow, our goals change, our mindsets change, our priorities change, and outgrowing a chapter doesn't mean that you failed your current one. Now, let's talk about burnout because if you've worked in healthcare, then you probably understand what I'm talking about. For me personally, one of the things that I like to think about is the relationship between taking on. For me personally, one of the things that I've had to think about is the relationship between increasing responsibilities, professional growth, and compensation. As you gain experience, you become more capable, more reliable, you learn new skills, you take on different responsibilities, right? And you become more confident in what you're doing. And personally, I'm at a point where in my career that I want more compensation and opportunities to continue to grow alongside my experience. I'm not afraid to work hard. I love working hard. I love fast paced environments. I'm not afraid of learning or adapting or being challenged. But I feel like people misunderstand that I'm at a point where I have to think, what kind of career trajectory do I want for myself? I've been a CCMA for 4 years. I've made $23 an hour before. So at this stage in my life, I don't want to go down and make 17, 18 an hour. I don't want to invest in moving backwards financially. It makes absolutely no sense. And if I'm making a career move, I want it to make sense for me professionally and financially. That's not me saying that one specific amount is right or wrong for everyone. I'm just simply saying that I know what I'm looking for in this point in my career. And I'm sweating so bad, y'all, but that's okay. But and then you have like the mental side of healthcare, where it takes a genuine toll on you mentally. It's a field where you have to be very attentive, very, very, very professional, very compassionate, and prepared to handle pressure 8 to 12 hours a day. And over time, that can become genuinely exhausting. I don't care who you are. You know, um, there was moments throughout my career where I questioned, is this for me? Even though I love working in fast-paced environments, it makes the day go by a whole lot faster. I love it. It gives me a chance to showcase my expertise, showcase who I am, showcase all the skills that I've learned over the last 4.5 years. But I'm tired of being left where I have to question myself at the end of my shift. Like, dang, is this where I really want to be for the rest of my life? I cannot see myself putting 20 years into this. I don't know, alhamdulillah. But eventually, I had to stop asking myself, how can I make myself stay interested in this? And just start asking myself, what does my future work look like? At least be real with yourself. That question is completely different, and it's a question that I'm sitting with right now. You know, so I know all of you are wondering what's next. No, I have not resigned, nor have I retired, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's next, and I'm completely okay with that. I'm only 25 years old. Um, I don't know what's next. Doesn't mean I'm gonna sit around my house and not do anything and be lazy and expect bills to pay themselves, but we all have to. But guys, I genuinely don't know what's next. And like I said, that's okay. I'm 25 years old. I have time to explore different industries, different opportunities, and different versions of myself. Not saying I'm going to sit here and just waste my time, but yeah, maybe it's law enforcement, maybe it's business, maybe it's something completely different, maybe it's entrepreneurship, inshallah. But I don't want to choose my future simply because that's what I've already been doing. I don't want to make a major decision just because I'm frustrated with the current one. But yeah, this isn't me saying that I figured everything out or I know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just acknowledging that I'm ready to explore different options that life has to offer me. I'm not starting over, I'm starting from experience. And if you're watching this and you're realizing like, okay, maybe I do need to change careers, and you keep hearing background noise and stuff like that, don't react on impulse. I know we outgrow stuff. Maybe you've outgrown your career that you once thought you'd do forever, no matter how old you are, but do not react on impulse. Don't make one decision just because you're feeling a way at that time. You know, you don't have to have your entire life mapped out in your 20s. I keep telling y'all this. So, yeah. If you've ever felt stuck in your career or outgrown, just let me know in the comments how you guys dealt with it. Any advice you have to someone feeling the same way. Um, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Walaikum assalam.